Hi, Democrats. Today is Wednesday, August 10th, the Chair's Daily Life. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so this is another one of those days where something is happening in our state, and I felt the need to invite a subject matter expert to join me and talk about a specific topic. But before I bring her on, I want to kind of do a little bit of a lead-in. So I've teased a little bit. I've mentioned the fact that our governor is currently being sued by two veterans that he fired on June 30th. Right after the primary election. So they're suing him, basically saying, A, he didn't fire them right, B, it was political retaliation, and C, in identifying his replacements, he did not follow the rules. And I'm having a hard time because I feel like just saying, what he always does. So, if he picks someone and they don't absolutely go lockstep what he wants, he will remove them for somebody else he thinks will do his bidding, regardless of what the rules are. There's a word for that, and it's authoritarianism. I have been saying for over a week that I fear for our democracy, that I get up every day, come and work and reach out in the community in an attempt to save our democracy. It is that important to me. And that is my big why. I talked about that last week. That is my big why. And as I watch this governor, forget about what's happening nationally, because, oh my word, but let's forget about that and let's focus on Oklahoma. Our governor is absolutely trying to take our state and make it an authoritarian government of and within itself. He has forgotten that we are part of the United States and we are part of a democracy. And that's the kind of government that we all signed up for, is a democracy. Authoritarianism, for those of you who needed an update like I did, I want to read a real quick definition of authoritarianism. It's a principle of blind submission to authority as opposed to individual freedom of thought and action. In government, authoritarianism denotes any political system that concentrates power in the hands of a leader or a small elite that is not constitutionally responsible to the body of the people. Yes, he was elected. I'm not going to be like all those people and pretend like the elections are not right. He was elected. And then he got the power and decided that all the power resides in him. If you're part of his team and you say something that is different than what he likes, he replaces you. He demands full loyalty. Do what he says or be gone. And so I want to talk about specifically what he did with the Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Veterans Commission. And so my subject matter expert, I'm being joined today by Danyelle Lanier, who is the president of the Oklahoma Democratic Federation of Veterans. So she's not a part of this organization that we're talking about today, but she is a veteran of the Navy. And this is a topic that she can talk to better than I can talk to, because I want to bring someone who can. So sure. Danyelle, thank you so very much for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on the show, Alicia. I appreciate that. We, as veterans, regardless of political affiliation, we do believe this is a gross abuse of power. It is definitely authoritarianism. How do you fire in the most obscene way two veterans that you handpicked to sit on the commission, and because they chose, based on their First Amendment right, chose to support a different candidate than you? I want to make sure we all kind of, are able to zoom out and find out what this was, how they got to where they were. These are well-decorated veterans with immaculate backgrounds that he handpicked to run the commission for the chair or the president, as well as the vice chair, because they chose to support their director in his bid for governor. 2 days after he won that primary, they were relieved of their duty.
Now, I want to say to anybody who might see this, that the two veterans that we're talking about are former chair Larry Van Sciver. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. And the vice chair, Pete Costello,
Paul
Costello,
Costello. Yes.
Costello.
Mhm.
They were supporting Joel Kinsel.
Yes.
Now, I want to take a moment and I want to make sure that everybody understands that Joel Kinsel is a Republican. So this isn't about Democrat versus Republican, right? These two veterans who both have Purple Hearts, right?
Yes.
Okay. These two decorated veterans
Yes.
chose to support someone that they know, a
Mhm.
member of their rank, someone that they trust,
Yes.
because this is a democracy and we get to pick who we support.
Exactly.
So they chose to support another candidate for governor
Yes.
who happened to be challenging Governor Stitt
Yes.
in a primary.
Yes.
So as soon as Governor Stitt won that primary,
2 days.
he fired the two veterans who supported someone else.
Yes.
He didn't give them the opportunity to say, okay, we shot our shot. That Republican didn't make it. We'll vote for the Republican. He just said, you didn't support me.
Yep.
You got to go.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened. Abuse of power. And that is why they are currently suing based on their violation of their First Amendment rights. I'm looking at my cliff notes here. So yeah, to make sure that the allegations are correct as to what they're suing for. And that's at the top of their list for that. And I honestly, regardless of political affiliation, I can't blame them for that. This is exactly what they went to war for, to fight for, is the right to choose. And, just how dare our governor, the currently sitting governor, I hate to use this word, but I don't think another one would quite fit. It's petty. When we kind of look at that, that is extremely petty. And as the Veterans Commission, we've talked about this amongst ourselves, and we're like, okay, we were we were hoping, that he wouldn't do it. Are we shocked and surprised? No, we're not. Sometimes you're just sitting there hoping, don't do it. It's kind of like looking at the scary movie. Don't go in that room. Don't go in there. Oh, they went in there. But unfortunately, with this right here, we were like, okay, we knew that they were supporting their director who stepped down to run for governor. We knew that they were supporting them. Okay, fine. He didn't make the primary. Totally understood. But to take that and relieve them of their duty when there was no other infractions, because these were questions that were asked of them, was there any other infractions that might have led to this? And it was absolutely not. They were relieved simply because he lost confidence in them, for lack of better words. That's always
actually,
what's said.
That's
lost
what
of
he
confidence.
said. So the interesting thing in doing my research and my little cliff notes, the former chair alleges that he has a recording of Stitt's chief of staff saying, we got to get rid of Kinsel and we got to get rid of these people because of the lack of confidence.
Lack of confidence, yes.
Which is another way I hear that as, I don't trust that they support our governor, so they got to go.
Yes.
Perhaps they don't know how democracy works.
And that is why we are tired of the Stitt show. And it is time for Stitt to go.
So after he fired them, and then he found some more people to install. And I'm just going to call it install because that's what he did. Mm-hmm. But the way those positions are supposed to be filled is that the Purple Heart Commission is supposed to represent 5 names, vote on those 5 names, and send those recommendations up to the governor.
Correct. To make sure that everything is done decent and in order and according to their bylaws. That is how it's supposed to be, to make sure that favoritism doesn't play a part of this, of course, in the democracy of the people. So yes, and none of that was done. So
you say favoritism, I say cronyism.
Exactly. So that's exactly what it is. Okay, you didn't work out. Let me pluck you out. Let me replace you with somebody else that's going to be a yes person for me. Heaven forbid, that they choose a different candidate or don't vote for him in the upcoming election or something. But from the way that it's looking, it most certainly could lead to a bigger lawsuit, especially since they were installed not in accordance with the correct bylaws for the positions.
So I like you fine. You know that. I like you fine. But I'm the daughter of two veterans. And so veterans issues are, I don't know them as well as you do because I'm not a veteran, but they are near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
Not our governor, because I just want to remind everybody that he also fired Mike Thompson, who was the head of the Oklahoma National Guard, because he agreed with the federal vaccine mandates.
Mm-hmm. I remember that as well.
And so I just want to ask, because people don't think that veterans, that as a veteran you can be a Democrat. Everybody thinks that the military is in lockstep with Republicans, blah blah blah. I know 3 veterans that I am related to and love that are Democrats, but you're over a whole organization of veterans who are Democrats.
Yes.
So when you guys talk about these, do you talk about them in terms of Democrat, Republican? Talk about it in terms of veterans first.
We talk about it in terms of veterans first, because we all face the same issues. When you're out there and you're in the trenches, when you're on a ship in the middle of the ocean away from your family, the conversations on Democrat and Republican are slim to none when you're trying to find out who your battle buddy is and who has your six. That's what matters out there when we're dealing with life and death issues, or when something is going on with you. None of that plays a part until you get back, I guess, if you will, to the home states. And we're coming down to issues like this, where, you're just trying to help veterans, regardless of political affiliation. And then you have someone that is supposed to be affiliated with you based on your political values, and yet they turn around and stab you in the back. So, I definitely agree with their lawsuit, and I support them in that, regardless of their political affiliation. I see a veteran being hurt and a veteran being done wrong, and that takes precedence for me. And the veterans in the committee, we all feel the very same way. We are not in agreement with that. We all got our beef with Stitt for other reasons, mine including this, on top of what's going on with the tribes, especially, but this right here was definitely just turning that knife a little bit more for me.
And that's really why I wanted to have you join me, because I have been writing the governor about education, right? Because I feel like he's, targeting, my home school district and making it into political things. And then, I spent a whole year complaining about his treatment of the tribes. Yes. But it's like he's not leaving any corner where he's not making sure that everybody knows that he is the authority in this state.
You're right. He's going scorched earth with it. There no stone, rock is written, no stone unturned, apparently, is safe from the governor at this time. And that's unfortunate, because it's not like you're building alliances and you're tearing down relationships all along. And I just don't even know if he sees that, or if he's is aware of how this is affecting him in the polls. Every day we're on the list as a state and the leaders of our state, and it's not in a good way.
Every day there's some new report that comes out that says Oklahoma is number 40X or number 50 in this category and that category. And so we have a governor in less than a year's time who's fired 3 veterans.
Yes.
Fired 3 veterans. And the overarching thing is that they didn't do what he wanted. Mm-hmm. Not that they didn't do their job or that they weren't qualified for their job.
Right.
Right. But because he had an idea and they had a different idea. So they had to go.
Yes.
Okay.
He took his ball and went home.
He took his ball. He snatched his ball, said, "Don't look at my ball, go home."
Yes.
All right. I wanted to get a veteran's view. Like I said, I have my view, but I talk about the governor quite a bit. I wanted somebody else to come on and talk about it.
To see if it was universal. It is.
If it's just me, or if, I keep saying we have to stop Stitt. Stitt has to go. We have to save our democracy. And with a governor in our state who is trying to take our state government into an authoritarianism, I'm trying to sound the alarms. And I'm going to bring on expert, trumpeters to help me.
I love it.
Buglers, I guess, is a better fit for you.
I, I absolutely adore that. I think this is where the rubber is going to meet the road with this election this year, as to where we're all going to come together as one to say, you are not good for our state. Uh, Political values are out of the window. You are not good for our state. You're not good for our tribes. You're not good for our education. You're not good for anything at this point. And that's a hard, whole road to toe with that when you are just filling an office. And I hate to talk bad about them like that, but I don't have anything good to say. So, especially in light of the recent events, every day it's getting worse. We're like, where does it end? Well, I'm going to tell you where it's going to end. It's going to end in that ballot box.
Well, so I want to say, one, thank you for joining me and sharing your perspective with the folks who happen to click on this every once in a while. Two, thank you very much for your service.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
three, tell people about the pancake breakfast.
Come out September 10th. We are going to be cooking delicious pancakes. This is our annual pancake breakfast to support the Oklahoma Democratic Party Veterans Committee. Our sole focus is to help veterans, especially Democratic veterans, get into office. That's what we're here for. This is our annual fundraiser as well. To purchase a ticket is $10, all you can eat. We are also looking for sponsors as well. Our link is going to pop up in the chat. We're blasting it all over social media where you can sponsor. Our sponsorships start as low as $100 and go up from there. So we look forward. It's a family-friendly event. We're going to be giving out awards. We're going to be honoring some of our veterans. We're going to have a couple of surprises. All candidates, families, allies, friends, and families, please join us 10 a.m. Saturday, September 10th.
So we're a month out, and I want to say I'm not going to be there.
Okay.
I will be in DC. But I hate to miss it. I went last year. It's a really great event. And I give you guys homework every day when you watch me. Go learn about the candidates who are going to be on your ballot. This is a good opportunity. Candidates show up for the pancake breakfast. It is on a Saturday, September 10th. That's a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday, September 10th in Oklahoma City. I don't remember what union hall it's going to be at.
The Pipefitters Union. The
Pipefitters Union Hall. Pancakes, bacon. It's a good time. You can hang out with other Democrats and you can talk to candidates who will be on your ballot.
Absolutely.
All righty. Thanks for joining me. You guys have your homework. Get out there, learn who's on your ballot, and make sure that everybody knows who's on their ballot and have a plan to vote. All right. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a good one. I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15.
Thanks, everybody.